Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chan. We haven't talked or caught up with Nikia Holmes in a minute. She is the owner of the turkey leg hut that is now closed. She is speaking out, and let's get into it. So she considers her ex-husband, soon to be ex-husband, to be a narcissist, and she talks about how her marriage ruined her business. So she said when she met her husband, Lindell Price, she said he was like larger than life. He commanded attention everywhere he went. She said that his charm was impossible to ignore. Eventually, they got into a friendship and it became romantic, and it resulted in them getting married. And then they started a business called the Turkey Leg Hut. She said the idea came from when she would make barbecue turkey legs on the barbecue trucks, and she would sell them at her son's football games. And she was like, since everybody is coming for these turkey legs, I can recreate this and make something great with it. So after that, she said she took this idea to her husband. They put money together from their full-time jobs, and they opened a little turkey leg hut stand in a parking lot behind a restaurant. And in 2016, during rodeo season, which is 28 days long, she said the foot traffic was wild and she knew she had an instant hit. So after that, she had to leave her job as a junior project manager to just support this business. So in April of 2016, they opened up their first location. She said it was, in Houston in 3rd Ward. And she said people flocked to the restaurant, i.e. me. I flocked as well. So she said it was really good for a little while. She said, but in less than 10 years, despite ranking in millions, Turkey Leg Hut is now closed and has been riddled with controversies that included health code violations, millions of dollars in debt, arson, infighting, lawsuits, divorce, and abuse, namely toward Holmes at the hands of Price. Where did it all go? Let's get to the turning point. So she said they had this restaurant for like 6 months, and then everything started coming crashing down. December 31st of 2016, he went to federal prison for IRS fraud, right? He was sentenced to 48 months, and she said this was months before the then couple was set to open the first brick and mortar location of the Turkey Leg Hut. She said this was not something that she was aware of when she first started talking to him, and she said this hit her like a ton of bricks. So, of course, when he went away, she had to take the leadership role, right? She then rebuilt and acquired a building in December of 2017. She reopened the restaurant. She had 25 staff members, and she said they felt like family to her. She said, I had 4 partners at the time, and because Price was away and technically he couldn't be on anything, like the paperwork, the liquor license, and any of that, she said, so I assumed sole responsibility of the business. She said her process worked well until he came home October the 4th of 2018. She said they were different in everything, the way they managed, all of that. He liked to micromanage. He would dictate, and she said it just wasn't working. And she said he had his hands in everything, especially the finances. So she said by 2021, at any given moment, the Turkey Leg Hut was flooded with excited customers. Absolutely. If you live in Houston or you visited, this is definitely somewhere that you would have gone to. She said, but soon Price noticed that he didn't like the way the people were looking in the restaurant. So just ahead of the 4th of July busy season, he made a post about how he wants the people to look who frequent his restaurant. So these are the things that he was saying the people could not do, honey. No excessive revealing clothing, no house attire, wave caps, do-rags, house shoes, shower caps, no undergarments being shown like bras and panties and things, no obscene language or baggy clothing, no swimwear of any kind is allowed. Now, I'm not saying that that's a lot. I mean, you should be respectable when you go to a restaurant, but when you go to the Turkey Leg Hut, basically you're sitting outside for the most part. So people was just coming as they are and chilling out. But she said that he wanted to reinforce like the family-friendly atmosphere. I don't know how you feel about that. I kind of agree with it. Now, she said there were some mixed reactions, and a couple of people went to social media to talk about it. But they felt like they were being hypocrites because they want to say one thing, don't look like you come to the club. But, baby, the drinks and the music is flowing at the Turkey Leg Hut once upon a time, right? She said there were also some suggestions that the new dress code discriminated against the restaurant's black patrons. So, of course, she had to come back and she had to clean it up. Okay. She released a message on social media to mitigate some of the controversy, stating that the dress code policy is not meant to target or offend anyone, but to provide our guests with an acceptable clothing guide. Now, I think he should have gotten with her before he made that, because this makes so much more sense. And I think people will have accepted that a little bit better than you just coming out yelling at them, don't come in here looking like this. That makes a lot of sense to me, right? So this was the start of the problems for them, and Price made a unilateral decision. It implodes, and she had to clean it up. So her personal difficulties came into play, right? Because as a wife, she wanted to be a dutiful wife and stick by her man. She comes from a family where her mom and dad have been married 47 years, her grandparents for 60 years. So all she knew was to do was stick by her husband. She went on to say that it was hard, with the gaslighting and the manipulation. And then she asked down here at the bottom, have you ever met a narcissist? Child. So in 2023, honey, that's when they start having money problems, okay? Even though they were successful with the Turkey Leg Hut restaurant and their food trucks, the money was just not doing what it was supposed to do, okay? They had outstanding debt for almost a year, and they were hit with health code violations. And in 2023, the Turkey Leg Hut's limited liability company filed for bankruptcy with documents showing the restaurant would no longer occupy the original location. So by November 23, the building's landlord had terminated their space. That is wild. I talked about their legal problems. In 2022, U.S. Foods, the food distributor, sued the Turkey Leg Hut at a tune of $1.2 million for unpaid goods and services. This was a big one for her. So she went on to say that they had a really good relationship with the vendors, and they were on a 30-day net term, meaning that their monthly bill wasn't due until 30 days after they received the product. But child, they was $300,000 to $400,000 in debt with these people, and they were trying to work with them. They got some figured out, and they still sent food, but they were still in debt. So in November of 2023, she announced on Instagram that she was separating from her husband. She said she posted it, I remember this, deleted, and she re-uploaded it. She said she also had to get a restraining order against him. She considers herself to be a self-described introvert, and she said she was always the quiet one in the relationship. But she said she was checked out. She's like, she finally filed. It was too much verbal and mental abuse. And she also said there was a lot of infidelity. So in November of 2024, the restaurant is now officially closed, and he has gone and opened up a grill oyster pop-up restaurant right across the street from the Turkey Leg Hut. She says she's not paying that no attention, no negativity. She's not dealing with that. She says she's focused on her future, and her divorce should be finalized in January. And as far as her personal life goes, she says she's firming up her circle, and she's learning that she had tendencies of putting her faith in the wrong hands. And she says she has some things coming up, but she doesn't want to talk about it right now. And you can understand why. I think I don't know, she could still have the protective order, but I wish her well. I hope she does well. And this was a lot to go through, but she has a lot to deal with too, because she has some friends that she owes at least $100,000 to. I did that story on those people a while back, and they were going to invest into the Turkey Leg Hut. She went to them for $50,000. Eventually, she went back for another $50,000, and it might have been $150,000 they gave, and they want their money back. But I wish her well. Let me know what you think about this. It's your girl Millie Chun, and I think we're back on TikTok. Bye, y'all.